Hello everyone, I'm George Taylor from Imagine Nerding. In this video, I'm going to talk about my experience with Pandora at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Pandora opened on May 27, 2017. It was more than $500 million expansion and took over the space of Camp Mini Mickey. Like many other Disney enthusiasts, I was scratching my head as to why Disney went with the Avatar franchise. Granted, the movie was gorgeous, but it was incredibly formulaic. I did see it in 3D during the original release and loved the effects. The film just didn't translate to a non-3D environment very well. And it also didn't pull at my heartstrings. I stayed away from almost every review or spoiler about Pandora because I wanted to experience it fresh. During my 2017 IAPA visit, I was able to spend the day at Animal Kingdom to check out Pandora and the Rivers of Light. I was able to experience Pandora during the day and the evening. Stay tuned to the second half of the video for a look at Pandora at night. So my first impressions were fairly good. The transition between Discovery Island and Pandora was very well done. There were subtle changes to the vegetation and the walkway. When you actually enter Pandora, it's a bigger change with alien-like fauna and signage that speaks to you differently from most Disney signs. I was also happy to see that the land felt much bigger than it actually was. There are many winding paths that are deceptive and offer you the feeling of traveling farther. The one recurring theme that I would see throughout most of my visit was the incredible attention to detail. Whether it was that 2-no light posts were the same or that even the fence posts were different. As far as the landscaping and the fauna, it was hard to tell what was real and what was fake. Both queues for the main attractions were at more than an hour and a half, so I opted for the Avatar Flight of Passage. The queue itself was astounding and was an attraction all by itself. I was overwhelmed by the textures, the discrete changes between what the humans had done and the Na'vi, and the amount of time you spent changing elevation. The vistas were amazing and surprising. In the middle of the outdoor section of the queue is a large area with water that sort of frames the mountains behind you. When you reach the top of that area later, it's a sweeping view of the land. It's quite impressive. Also, the queue felt and was touchable, unlike most other Disney queues. The fauna and the rock work were so close that you felt invited to touch it and experience it. Once you reach the inside part of the queue, you get more of the Na'vi viewpoint based on the cave paintings. The story also starts to unfold that we are here as part of an eco-tourism group sponsored by an initiative to help restore Pandora. The plant life inside the queue takes on a new vibrance, and the sounds are quite impressive. Nothing quite sounds like a loop, and there are some gorgeous areas. You can also see how the remains of the mining company have been integrated into the queue and the plant area. When you finally make it to the research lab, there are a lot of great details like science experiments, books with nods to the film, and explanation of what's happening. Once you start the pre-show for the ride, you're split into small groups and you go through several different pre-show rooms. In these pre-show rooms, you're brought into the story and everything you experience starts to gel. I really enjoyed the different pre-show rooms because it sort of kept you on your toes and kept you moving, as opposed to just waiting in another queue. I won't say much about the Avatar Flight of Passage attraction, except that it's one of the most engaging attractions that I've done in a long time. I was very excited after riding and wanted to ride it again. I can't think of another ride since Indiana Jones in Disneyland or the first version of Soarin' that made me feel the same way. After the attraction, you're led into a gift shop, but not a normal gift shop. Following the lead of Potter over at Universal, everything is themed to Pandora and the Na'vi. The amount of merchandise was astounding, and I was surprised. I had no idea that you can even buy this much stuff about the Avatar films. So night at Pandora is different altogether. The blues and the greens are everywhere, even in places you wouldn't think of. I was able to do the Navi River journey after experiencing the Rivers of Light night show. The queue for the Navi River journey was not nearly as impressive as Flight of Passage. It was more of simply a switchback, and the storytelling elements were thrown in. But people weren't paying attention to any of the signs, and most of them were just on their phones, which didn't happen in the queue for Flight of Passage. Overall, the Navi River journey was very lackluster. There were elements of pure beauty, but that didn't make up for the shortness of the ride and the lack of truly understanding what's going on during the attraction. I think we were looking for someone or something. And at the end, there's a big show element, and we're supposed to know and understand a song, but the song was in the Navi language. And then the whole ride was over. Honestly, for me, there was no reason to ever ride the Navi River journey again. It just wasn't worth the time. But I was still able to take in more of Pandora in the evening, and it really is gorgeous. I enjoyed it more during the daytime though, because it was so much more engaging during the daylight hours. Overall, I still walked away slightly disappointed. By no means is it the Potter Swatter that Star Wars Land will be. I'd rather spend time in Diagon Alley than any time spent in Pandora. I think it comes down to the fact that I have absolutely no emotional attachment to anything in Pandora. Unlike Magic Kingdom or even Epcot, in which I love the characters, the songs, and the settings, there's nothing at Pandora that calls to me. Nothing that makes me feel nostalgic. Flight of Passage was amazing, but it could have been themed to almost anything else and would still have been a great attraction. Still, if Star Wars Land is themed half as well as Pandora, it's going to be mind-blowingly good. Thanks so much for checking out this video about my thoughts on Pandora. Have you visited? What are your thoughts about the newest land at Disney's Animal Kingdom? Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you. I'm George Taylor from Imaginerding, and I hope to see you in the parks.